Guys, there's still sunlight out. I'm streaming and there is still sunlight. What is happening? It's also warm enough that I am currently wearing something sleeveless to stream. What the genuine hell. I guess it's April. It's April, but it's April in Chicago. Yay, stream time! Yay, yay, yippee! We're doing great. My mouse just ran out of battery. I don't remember where we are in the case, and I don't think my lights are at full brightness, so I'm gonna check. They are at full brightness. It just seems darker because it's still light out. I also wish you were not watching at work. Jesus Christ. Good lord. Godspeed, Nick. Anyway. Mass Serenade, let's go. I think we're on the trial. Yes, we are. That's not how you load the game. Yeah, playing this with my trackpad is not gonna be fun. But my mouse just died, so... Trial day 2. I always do not process that, when Ace Attorney has multiple investigation days, those investigations happen after the trial, like on that day, which is insane.
Well, this is it.
Today's the day it all goes down. And then there was yesterday. This meeting is over. Sorry. Just give us 5 more minutes. We can call them back after that. Sorry, no go. Come on, piano boy, we're leaving.
Darian, wait!
I never liked you. Either of you. Huh?
Darn it, we were so close. He was about to tell us. Hey, Apollo.
He didn't want us to hear what Machi had to say. And I think I know why. Time to bring down a little justice.
Ah!
What was that? I don't remember who this is. I'm guessing it's Valent.
Who's that talking?
Totally is Valent. God damn it, what the hell did he say? This is really good. He is heard but unseen.
Who's that talking?
Valent Grammary, I exclaimed as he walked in through the door. Normally.
You aren't the witness today, are you, Uncle Valent?
Other things that happened before stream, my eyebrow pencil, like, exploded, which is not a thing that eyebrow pencils are known to do. But I opened it up and the entire thing was completely crushed. Which is not good because it was like $12. And I just bought it. We're doing great. We're doing good. Preposterous proposition. That's how you say that word. How could I stand to stand upon the stand? Why, my secrets would be free for the plucking. I might even have to sign autographs. That is why I intend to remain hidden for the entire day in this bright yellow cloak.
Ooh, with vanishing magic?
Indeed. I will jump upon an express train and express myself to the next town over. But before I go, a word of warning.
Warning? What?
A grand grammary glamour resides at the root of all that has happened. Do not forget this truth. Glamour? A spell, a sorcery, a great illusion. Miss Trucy, though it pains me to part so. I need to get in line for a ticket. Farewell! This is probably the Genshin Asogi enjoyer in me talking, but I do really like Valent's design.
And there he goes.
He sure seemed happy about that illusion thing.
Oh, big illusions are the bread and butter of a magician. You can't pull off a show without one. The big illusion is always a spectacle to remember. Usually it involves cutting up things like people or elephants, or the Eiffel Tower, anything really.
So he was talking about what we saw at the concert.
Lamoir's disappearing act.
And Prosecutor Gavin's exploding guitar.
I wonder what he meant by it being at the root of all that's happened.
Well, it's about time. Shall we go? Man, I really want to make Llama War lately. Unfortunately, I have another con to crunch for right now. Excuse me, sir? Yes? The scheduled starting time for the trial has been changed. The trial will not be commencing until 10:30 a.m. Sorry for the inconvenience. Huh? Did something happen? This is the first. It was by the judge's request. Some urgent personal business. Great. I bet he stayed up too late last night watching courtroom dramas. Ah, my cat ears. If you don't get the cat ears modeled, I own cat ears. Yippee! Hi, Maddie. Yippee, yay, yay, stream time. Apparently he's visiting the hospital again. The hospital? I believe it was mentioned that the Chief Justice's son is unwell. Apparently his condition worsened considerably this morning. The Chief Justice's son.
Oh, that's right.
You funky speaker ears.
Oh, that's right. Remember yesterday morning? The judge said that he had to go visit him after the trial.
There's an article about it in the newspaper. If you care to read about it yourself. I don't remember if I gave the bailiffs voices. It's an article about the Chief Justice's son who is inflicted with incuritis. Incuritis? Where have I heard that before?
I'll let you read that article for us, Apollo. Just leave the TV guide page to me.
Try not to lose the page with the funnies on it if we can. My apologies for the delay. Court is now in session for the trial of, how do you say his name again? Machi Tabaye. Our suspect fortissimo. Right. It's his trial in any case. The defense is prepared, Your Honor. The prosecution is ready to rock. Okay. Is something wrong, Your Honor? No, well, yes. It's just, I've been friends with the Chief Justice since we were students. It pains me. Guys, we found the actual old man Yowie. We found it, guys. It pains me to see him going through such a difficult time.
Incuritis, was it? That article said there's no known cure.
No, Judge, let me say, with all honesty, I feel your pain. But now is not the time for tears. Now is the time for law. Can't stand him. Indeed. We left off at quite the juncture yesterday. It's so warm in my room. I asked Interpol about that number. The agent registered under this number. So it needs to be a flashback game to the judge's prime and his young man Yowie. Who's remain the twos. Thanks for looking into that for us, Detective Crescent. It's a great help. Oh, no problem at all, Your Honor. I'll be heading out. I'm gonna make an Ace Attorney fan game that nobody, including me, wants, which is, I'm gonna make a Apollo Justice prequel game that's about Clavier's past, but not any of the interesting pasts, like him and his brother or anything. It's just his on and off relationship with Darian from high school onward. Wait. That voice just now. It was him. I'm sure of it. It was him? That voice I heard, talking to Mr. Ledoux, when I heard the gunshots fired. It was him. It was Mr. Darian. No way. Quite a sensational ending. Who would have thought Darian would guest star in the season cliffhanger as a suspect? I asked the prosecution to look into this matter. Please tell the court your findings. Darian Crescent is a member of my band, the Gaviners. He's also a detective, making the current charges serious indeed. Yet after investigation, I have found no cause to alter our case or file new charges. And your reason is? Weren't you aware, Hair Forehead? He has an impeccable alibi. An alibi? Let us review the facts again, shall we? The concert held on the night of the shooting was in 3 sets. which is a long-ass concert. Or at least an oddly spaced-out concert. The Governors ripped up the stage during the first set. For the second set, our guest took center stage. Oh boy, we get to watch it again! The only... Oh god, I didn't read in time. Along with a drummer and a bassist, for a total of 5. The shooting in the dressing room, however, took place during the third set. Lamawar and the defendant knocked my mic over. Machi Tobae had left the stage at that point. And the Governors were already rocking. This is when 2 shots rang out at the scene of the crime. Shots heard by Detective Emma Skye, mind you.
And Apollo. You heard them too, right?
I sure did. Furthermore, Lamawar herself witnessed the moment of the crime. Well, perhaps I should say she heard the moment of the crime. When she claims to have heard Mr. Latouche and Detective Crescend talking. That's impossible. Detective Crescend was... Precisely. Detective Crescend was on stage, getting his groove on, no less. Voila. A perfect alibi. Does the defense have anything to add to this? It's true. When I heard those gunshots, he must have been on stage. Still, there's something here that doesn't quite add up. It appears the defense has no objections. I believe we can safely say that Darian Crescend's alibi has been acknowledged. Which means that Lamawar was sadly mistaken. Her testimony cannot be true. Very well. Of course, if we disregard her testimony. I see no evidence keeping us from declaring a verdict. If indeed there are no objections...
Uh-oh, Apollo. If he declares a verdict now...
The prosecutor Gavin's case is airtight. Lamawar might have been lying to protect Machi. How can I rely on her testimony? He's thinking real hard. Wait, what about yesterday in the detention center? About the case? What about the case? He wants to tell us about Mr. Latouche's death? This meeting's over.
Darian?
Machi was trying to tell us something, I know it. Maybe the best thing to do is ask him under oath. Very well. The court finds the defendant, what was his name again? Objection! Your Honor! No, that wasn't it. It was something like Marquis, or Mr. Justice. Your Honor, before you declare a verdict, I would like to call another witness, and also point out you're somehow making more microaggressions than the judge in the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Exactly who else do you need to hear from? A witness who, until now, has not been given a chance to speak in court. Because he doesn't speak English. You don't mean... I do. The defense calls defendant Machi Tobae to the stand. What? But he doesn't speak English. We'll use an interpreter. Interpreter? I'm afraid you'll have to look elsewhere. I only speak a few phrases such as, I love you, and where's the toilet? I hate him! The defense would like to request Lamawar as the interpreter. But Lamawar? There's a possibility she's protecting the defendant. But she'd be interpreting for the defendant. Why would she lie? This is most unusual. Bravo, Air Forehead. Herr Judge, the prosecution agrees with the defendant's request. If Lamawar lies, I'll be able to tell. Even my limited knowledge of the language should be enough for that. Well, if both prosecution and defense are for this, I see little cause for refusal. Finally, some progress. Bailiff, please show the defendant and Lamawar to the witness stand. They... I suppose there's a first time for everything. Shall we proceed? Your name, to begin with. If you would, Lamawar. Yes. He says, Machi Tobae, the defendant. This is certainly a first for this courtroom. Not that we really needed an interpretation of that message in particular. So far, so good. Very well, Mr. Justice, if you would. Nope, very well, Mr. Justice, if you would. Huh? If I would what, Your Honor? Would what? You called the defendant to the stand, did you not? What would you have him testify about? What do I want him to testify about? I hadn't thought that far yet.
Apollo? Aren't you going to ask him what he was about to tell us yesterday?
How can I if I don't know what he was saying? Excuse me, a moment, if I might speak. Yes, Lamoir. That's so... Can you imagine being in a trial and then the judge was just like, yes, Beyonce? Just now, Machi said there was something that he wishes to testify. Machi wants to testify about something? What could it be? What sort of testimony is he talking about? One moment, please. Lamoir cosplay brainworms returning full force. Oh, the suspense is killing me. Do I have physically with me? If I do, it's like shoved into the back of my desk. I have a 3D printed version of her bracelet. Oh, there it is. I just need to sand and paint it. Ooh, I want to cosplay her so bad. I might honestly... Wait, did you guys even see it? Hold on. Hello? I need stream to catch up so I can tell. But, what the fuck was I gonna say? Ooh, I want to do it so bad. The fucking... If we do an Apollo Justice group, I will cosplay literally anyone. I will donate cosplay items to literally anyone. Because I cosplay so many fucking Ace Attorney 4 characters. Ooh, you want to cosplay Vera so bad. We need to do, like, a Turnabout Succession group. We need to do it... I really want... I want Sage to get the brainworms for Kristoff because he's gonna love Kristoff. And then, what was I gonna say? I need Sage to get the brainworms for Kristoff and then to, like, go off on a Kristoff shoot with me. And also I need to get, like, other pants for Kristoff. Kazuma. Where did he go? Oh. I dropped him. Okay. I need to get other pants for Kristoff because they're bad. Also, Bridge to the Turnabout. Again, I will cosplay anyone in that case. I need to, like, video call Jess and be like, I need you to step by step tell me how you did your Dahlia wig so I can do the same thing. Ugh. I want to do more. I always want to cosplay Ace Attorney all the time, always. Anyway, I might do Lamoir after Asen because now that I have a serger with a ruffler foot on it, that dress has become much easier. So I'm thinking about it. I also, though, like, have been wanting to do a more complicated... Did I wear eyeliner today? No. I've been wanting to do a more complicated Lamoir dress with, because I have some, like, Constellation fabric saved where it's pre-embroidered onto, like, a mesh. But I might add, like, beading and stuff to it. Who knows? Ugh, the suspense is killing me. What? 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 Well, Lamoir? According to Machi, he has proof of his innocence. Oh, what? Yeah, because the main thing stopping me for Lamoir is I didn't want to make that dress initially, and I'm, like, I'm not extremely tall, but I'm slightly tall, so finding, like, a dress that is that long and not like a wedding dress and therefore mega expensive was hard, so I should just make the dress, honestly. This is a surprise.
Yahoo! Victory, Apollo! We did it!
I also kind of want to remake Trucy lately because, like, that is... Her cape is a little rough. At least the diamonds on it are. Again, like, things that are easier with the searcher. This is sounding too good to believe, and I know what that usually means. Well, if that's true, then this is vital testimony. Lamoir, I mean, Machi. Please testify to the court. Very well. He says that word of Mr. Latusse's death came as a great shock. But if the killing truly followed the lyrics of my song... I have a thing stuck under my laptop. There we go. That is, he could not have done it. He says that because the lyrics are in English, he does not understand them. No, yeah, that's pretty smart. I see. He wouldn't have understood the English lyrics to the song. That would prevent him from following them so closely. I wondered what he meant by proof. Why, he would only have to ask Lamawar to know the meaning of that song. Lamawar, did you ever explain the lyrics of that song to him? I did tell him generally what the song was about, but never in so much detail, and he never asked. Has my oft-repeated warning already fled that forehead? Lamawar might be protecting the witness. Well, anyway, let us proceed with the cross-examination. Mr. Justice, if you would. Yes, Your Honor. Something's hidden in that testimony, I know it. I'll just have to trust my bracelet to tell me where. Worked yesterday, it'll work today. He says that word of Mr. Latu- Oh, I already fucking read this. Alright. Let's just press everything. Why not? Were Machi and Mr. Latouche close? Yes, after we traveled around the world on tour together. Jump scared the shit out of me. Lamawar, this is Machi's cross-examination, not yours. But I knew the answer. This is a court of law. We'll play by the book. I understand.
When Prosecutor Gavin's tough, he's really tough.
I love Clavier. I like his prosecution style. You don't... The two prosecutors that are nice in terms of, like, following the rules in such a way that it'll help you are Clavier and Van Zeeks. And Van Zeeks is a little bitch boy. So Clavier is like a breath of fresh air. I haven't met Nayuda yet, but I don't think he's as nice. Or Simon. Machi said he was very good friends with Mr. Latouche. Mr. Latouche was always a gentleman, never angry. We got along quite well. I never dreamed something like this would happen. This is a weird bit of testimony, because you can't, it's not like a, like, but if the killing truly followed the lyrics of my song is not like an arguable point. The Guitar Serenade, correct? Yes, the crime followed the lyrics of the song. The theft of the keyring, the burning guitar, and the bullet. This is why it could not have been me. By could not have done it, you mean... It is very simple. Machi could not have done all the things that happened that day. For all those things followed the song lyrics closely. I think it's this one. Wouldn't it be difficult for him to perform without knowing the meaning of the lyrics? You did know what the song was about. Its mood, shall we say. This was enough to play by. I told him it was a song about a guitar in love. It's not actually the guitar that's in love, strictly speaking. Oh. Perhaps I misunderstood. No, not really. Yours is also a valid interpretation. Okay. No, it is my fault. I am too used to singing in Virginian. It is much easier than trying to understand these English lyrics.
Yay, I knew he was innocent.
I believe he is too, Trucy. I do.
What's wrong, Apollo? You got a tummy ache or something?
Something's hidden in that testimony. If it's the truth, I'll find it. Yeah, no, the only arguable point is that last one, and I think I remember what the lie is. I don't remember what her tell is the second time around, because it's not her swallowing again. Oh, it's Machi! It's your eyes, isn't it? I think it's his eyes. Yep, there we go. Oh shit, is that actually? I might have to wait for it to go again. Yeah, I think I waited too long. I remember seeing on an episode of Fetch with Ruff Ruffman as a child that looking to the side like this, like looking to the left, is a common tell for people, where people will look to the right generally when they tell the truth. Because micro-expressions are like a genuine thing that people do. I don't know if they're always as on the nose as apologistus ones are. But I remember that from an episode of French with Ruff Ruffman. Machi. You can't fool my eyes. You glanced toward her the very moment Lamoir said the word English. Why? And don't bother interpreting that. He understands me. Machi, tell the truth. You can understand English, can't you? What are you saying? Of course he can't. Must he continue the charade? Mr. Justice, Machi says this. I know the word English. Huh? Before coming to this country, he heard me speaking English. He learned the name for this language, that is all. What? Give me a break. Is that such an unusual word to understand? Do you not know Espanol, for instance? Well, yeah, but... I'm sorry, but he truly does not understand your language. This is like a good, like... Sometimes media is not good at, how people understand languages. I'm looking at you, Dungeons and Dragons. Well, then explain this. How does he know the crime followed the lyrics? Have you always been such a suspicious-minded lad? It is simple. So simple it hardly requires an explanation. He read about it in the newspaper. The newspaper? The Borginian Daily Bugle. You can buy it in this country these days, you know. They have already begun to report about this case in our homeland. I was right. What is wrong, Mr. Justice? What's wrong is I didn't read the thing that we were handed this morning, so I'm gonna go do that right now. Borginian newspaper. It doesn't mention the lyrics of Lamoir's ballad versus... Oh, never mind. This is the one about anchoritis. Do I need to read this at all? Yeah, no, this isn't actually... I don't need that. Oh, this one is the first case in country is what's important, I think. What is wrong, Mr. Justice? Your eyes. They are quite fierce all of a sudden. Machi's lying. Maybe it's time to show them proof that he's lying. It doesn't mention the lyrics. I have here a Borginian newspaper. The Borginian Daily Bugle, as a matter of fact. Indeed, there's a feature about the art. Nope, there's a feature article about the case. Could you read this for me, Machi? That's right. It doesn't mention the lyrics. What? What is this all about? I'm sorry, Machi. You couldn't have read about the lyrics in a Borginian newspaper. I think it'd be really funny if that line was just like in Borginian. Fuck! What does this mean? Hello? I just saw a light flash outside my window. I don't see how it's possible. I know. He must have heard the lyrics when the police were doing their questioning. Yes. Not possible. The subject of the lyrics was not brought up in police questioning. I read the full report myself. So the lyrics weren't in the newspaper and the police didn't mention them. The only place you could have heard them was in this courtroom. In English, no less. The witness will explain herself to himself. Machi says... He says... Yes? It is true I read the newspaper, but this is not where I learned of the lyrics. I was mistaken. Now I remember. You remember? He says he heard of the lyrics from me. What? Is this true, Lamoir? Yes, I'm afraid I had forgotten it myself. Then it looks like our forehead's been jumping to conclusions again. Seems so, yes. No. No! I was onto something, I know it. I can't let this chance slip away. Time is an issue today. Mr. Justice, are you finished with the cross-examination?
What are you gonna do, Apollo?
I'm gonna keep on cross-examining. I'd better have an angle of attack. Or else... My bracelet's still reacting. Get him, Apollo! Sorry, Machi. Also, hi, Senna. Chat's being the Machi fan club. As it should be. Your Honor, please allow me to continue. You must, you must. Very well. Witness? I understand. It was I who explained the crime that followed the... Nope. It was I who explained that the crime followed the song, and that's the only new one? Yep. Let's press again, just in case. Exactly how much did you explain to Machi? This is a question for me, yes? This interpretation thing's getting old fast. I told him that Mr. Latouche had been killed and why he was a suspect. And I told him the crimes of the day followed my song. Did you mention any particular words of the song relating to the case, such as heart? Yes, of course I explained this. He was quite surprised. Oh, it's the no, I already did this dialogue. No, go back. Crap. Ah. Perceive. What are we looking at this time? Is it your eyes again? I don't think it's your eyes again. It wasn't your eyes again. Let's go again. I don't remember what his is. Is it your mouth? At least this one's fast. We can't, I don't think we can go over to Lamoir. Oh no, we totally can! Yeah, she's lying again here. I have to wait for it to play again. So it's the same tell as before. Oh, I keep forgetting how to confirm. It wasn't you. You didn't tell him shit. Lamoir. I'm currently cross-examining Machi. Why should you be uncertain? Me? Uncertain? Yes, you swallowed the moment you told the court. It was I who explained. I see there is little point in trying to hide anything from you. Lamoir, are you indeed protecting someone? That is not a question with a simple answer. To tell the truth, I do not believe it myself. Then allow me to answer for you. Lamoir, you're protecting Machi. Right? If that was wrong, that's embarrassing. Lamoir, you are protecting Machi. That's why you lied and told us that you'd explained how the crime followed the song. I don't fault you for trying to help, but this is not the way. Machi, I believe you didn't do it, really. I trust you. But you've lied to us twice. Now you have Lamoir lying on your behalf. If this is going to work, you have to trust me too. Your two lies cover a simple truth. You understand English. You have to. Yeah, but in English this time. Oh god, I have to give Machi a voice. Witness, is this true? Do you understand English?
What voice do I give it? Yippee! It's the cola!
Yes, a little, only. What? First he could see, now he can talk. And you did not know about this, Lamour. No, I did not. It's quite a surprise. How many secrets is this witness hiding? Last. This is last. Machi, could you tell us what really happened? Ah, German in the chat. No shooting! I did no shooting. So he's turning into Nicolina. So, you weren't in the dressing room when I heard those 2 gunshots. Shut up, bot! Shut up. So you weren't in the dressing room when I heard those gunshots, correct? Apparently the answer to that question isn't simple either. I was in dressing room, behind desk. Manager here on floor. Which would be after the shooting, right? Then there is voice.
Voice? Or voices? Was it you and Emma, Apollo?
So when Machi went into the dressing room, Mr. Latouche had already been shot. And then we came to the door. Run up high. I take off. Run away. Ah, I kicked my knee into the desk. So it was you who escaped through that air vent. You vented, Machi. As the prosecution has upheld all along, no less. The defendant has admitted to being at the scene. Might we take this as a confession? Objection! No. No, he's clearly denied that he did it. I know shooting. Manager on floor. Already on floor. Objection! The victim had already been shot, you say. I find that hard to believe. The defendant understood the song lyrics. He was at the scene of the crime. This can only mean one thing. He is the shooter. I also just think it's neat that this I am a Turnabout Serenade defender with my whole heart. I think it's neat that this case, Clavier doesn't want it to be Darien. Even though we've reached a point where Apollo and Trucier like, so Darien did it right. And Lamoir doesn't want it to be Machi. Does the defendant have anything to say to this?
He's clammed up, Apollo.
Then let's ask Mr. Justice. Will you require any further testimony from the witness? Is that it? Is there nothing else I can get him to testify about? Wait. No, of course there is.
What is this cocoon, anyway?
The cocoon, the silk, is a potent cure.
A cure? Well, Machi, are you a smuggler?
Be sleeping. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, 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 blah. Well, tell me. That cocoon has to have something to do with this. Machi, please, tell us the truth for your own sake. No, no more speak. Not to any of you. So much for your precious trust, Hair Forehead. Hey, you were the one who didn't believe him. Nice Virginian accent. I don't know what the fuck accent that is. I was like, I'll go with like German, and then I didn't. Regardless, this brings us to an impasse. Especially because Lamoir doesn't have an accent. It does seem the defense and defendant are at odds. I doubt we are likely to learn anything more of value. Jesus Christ, anything more of value should this continue. What if I just make him Jester? I see no other course but to declare a 5-minute recess. The defense will work things out with the defendant so that we might proceed. Oh, I think I should make make him Jester. I think it'd be funny. Ah!
Apollo Eustace.
That's justice. Better learn how to say it if you ever want to get... Better learn how to say it if you ever want to get some. Believe. I know shooting. Just... Fucking Jester Machi. God, I keep smacking my... What is it? My microphone. Machi claims Mr. Latouche was already down on the ground when he entered the room.
Maybe it was a trap and he walked right into it?
It's really hard to do broken English as Jester.
Hello, bees. Hello, bees.
Suddenly I hear revolver. Close, very close. Then, oh no wait, there's already Russian people in this, so then if I go like too far into Jester, then it just sounds Russian. I don't know. I'm going back to whatever the hell I was doing before.
Apollo Eustace.
Then I hear a voice. You heard gunshots? Yes, it's true. I hear revolver, but only sound. Wait, you're saying you went into the dressing room? And found Mr. Latouche already dead, and then you heard shots? That's true.
So, you were at the scene of the crime when you heard those shots?
And you escaped through the air vent.
I know. Huh? What do you know? I know if I opening vent, I can leave stage and backstage.
So the vents went to both the stage and the backstage area. Is that what he means?
Hey, he's right. Look, Apollo.
Huh, yeah. But how did you know it was connected like that?
Wait, I bet his father was the architect that designed the hall or something. I hear this from Magician.
Magician?
Don't look at me.
A magician, huh?
Well, at least we're clear on one thing. Machi didn't shoot Mr. Latouche.
Yeah, but what does that have to... What does that leave with... Nope, what does that leave us with? We're supposed to say he went into the room to find the body and then he heard... the shots? No one's gonna go over well in court. Not.
Apollo, you're his defense. You're supposed to believe whatever he says, even lies.
We're gonna unpack that at a later date.
That's what Daddy always told me.
We're gonna unpack that at a later date. I'll just pretend you misheard him. Every time. So, what do we do?
You're sure you won't testify, Machi? No talking. No. Well, it was worth a shot.
That cocoon. I can't go home.
Can't go home?
I can't go home to Virginia. I do not want to go home. The penalty for taking a cocoon from Virginia is death. That's right, it's punishable by death. Of course, he's scared. Oh, Machi. Well, I guess we'll just have to try a different approach.
That's the spirit, Apollo. So what's your plan?
Have you figured out why the cocoon got to where it is yet? Nope. We don't know shit about that cocoon yet. If Machi won't testify about it, we'll have to get someone else to testify.
Someone else?
I think we're out of time. I don't think we actually know where the actual cocoon is yet. We just have the little plastic thing. Let's get back in there.
Right. Your smile.
Is it raining? I can't tell. I think it's raining. Anyway. Court is now back in session. Mr. Justice, have you sorted things out with the defendant? Yes, Your Honor. We had a good talk. And then it started raining harder. Very well. So will he testify? Your Honor, the defendant will not testify. What? Shame. And here I thought this was your big chance to turn the case around. Actually, it is. The defense would like to approach this case from a different angle, Your Honor. Different angle? If Machi won't testify, then I know who will. I would like to cross-examine the witness in this case, L'Amour. L'Amour?
Objection!
What are you up to now? I thought we were Nope. I thought we determined yesterday that Lamoroir's testimony was insubstantial. There's nothing you can... Lamoroir was taken to the hospital yesterday with injuries. What happened? She was assaulted, Your Honor. Assaulted? Someone wanted Lamoroir dead. Thankfully, she was able to save herself. What? I've heard no such report. Prosecutor Gavin. Why would anyone be out to kill Lamoroir? Can you think of a reason? Well, think of how she is known in our country. A singer from overseas who doesn't speak English, yes? Yet someone tried to keep her mouth shut. Who could that have been? You don't think? I do. It was the same person who shot Mr. Latouche. The killer was afraid of her, afraid of what she might say. The defense believes that something was hidden in her testimony yesterday. Something that the killer doesn't want getting out. So, am I to understand that this is what you're Yep. That this is what you're saying. Namely, that there is a nugget of truth in Lamoroir's testimony. A nugget we have yet to uncover. Exactly. Lamoroir was attacked. This has serious implications. Very well. There were some vague points in her testimony during yesterday's trial. Perhaps we did not inquire as deeply as we might have into some. The court will hear Lamoroir's testimony once more. So sleepy, what the hell? It was fine earlier. Lamoroir, I must apologize. We must ask you to stand again and speak. You need not apologize. I know that Machi is innocent, and I will do all that I can until the court realizes it. Let's review your testimony from yesterday. You told us you heard 2 gunshots and the shooter's voice through the window. And that the voice belonged to Darian Crescent, yes? That is correct. At which point I proved she could not be correct. She couldn't have heard any of those things. The small window at the scene was closed, and was found to be quite soundproof. You have nothing to say to that, Mr. Justice? Tell the prosecution to shut the fuck up. I don't know exactly what yet, but I do know there's something there. There is, it seems. Much you don't know. And yet it is my duty to hear him out. Perhaps the witness would be so kind as to testify once more to the court. Of course, Your Honor. I was on my way from the stage to the backstage exit. That's when I heard them, Mr. Latouche and the detective. I heard the faint sound of a gunshot and stopped. Then I heard another gunshot. Then there was the smell of gunpowder. I knew I must tell someone, but I was in a hurry, so I kept moving past the small window. Pretty much the same as yesterday's testimony. I'm sorry. I'm not used to speaking much in this language. Perhaps my descriptions are lacking in some way. Yet, everything I have said here is the truth. Then it is my distinct displeasure to say this. What you have said to have happened is impossible. Do I have to repeat myself? Lamoroir was attacked because of this testimony. What? Trucy?
Apollo, you know, for a moment there, you were pretty cool.
Maybe I do better when I don't try to think ahead. Very well, Mr. Justice. Perhaps you can coolly cross-examine the witness. Hee. Ah, go back! Wait, no, it's not the button. Hold on, I wanna look.
Hold it!
Is something wrong? I know I said hold it, but she's saying the same thing she said before. Mr. Justice? Sorry, it's nothing. Please continue with your testimony. Now I know what they mean about reckless youth these days. The one in red over there is a shining example, Herr Judge. You're the last person who should be pointing fingers, Mr. Rockstar.
You're funny.
Darian Crescent? I did not know his name at the time. But yes, it was him, the one who took the stand yesterday. How many times do I need to remind you that's impossible? There's no way you could have heard him. Because the window at the scene was closed? Such a funny illustration. Is that why? Of course.
Apollo, if we keep asking the same questions as yesterday, we won't get anywhere.
She's right. Maybe there's a different angle I can try. Did you hear anything else? Did you happen to hear anything else at the time? Anything else? Anything else besides the victim and the shooter's conversation? Anything at all? That's quite the vague question. Other than the conversation, I heard a clock ticking, the two men breathing, footsteps. And that is all. Nothing new there, as expected. I was hoping for a little more than that. Perhaps we should just carry on with the cross-examination. As you wish. No go back. No go back. No go back. What were they talking about? Do you by any chance remember what they were saying to each other? If so, please tell us. I have given it much reflection, but I was afraid of this. She doesn't remember. I only heard one phrase clearly. A whole phrase? You remember something that was said? Why didn't you say anything yesterday? Though my memory is clear, I was afraid to speak. You see, I did not understand what was said. This could be it. The clue I've been waiting for. Well, what did he say? It was the other man speaking, not Mr. Latouche. The shooter, then. Darian Crescent. Well, what did he say? It's over. Press the switch. Now. Switch? And the shooter said this to the victim, Mr. Latouche? I thought it quite strange myself afterward. It is a mystery. What could it possibly mean? Mr. Justice, care to shed some light on this? I mean, sure. What the heck did I say? I'd be delighted. It's, very, very vital. Maybe we could add that to the testimony?
Maybe, Apollo?
In the small window, I heard a voice say, press the switch now. And it was Detective Darian Crescent's voice. Clavier. Yes, I'm sure of it. It's over. Press the switch. How would he say that to Mr. Latouche?
Apollo? The murder weapon, the revolver, was Mr. Latouche's, right?
Yeah, what of it?
Well, maybe when he said press the switch, he really meant to say pull the trigger. Because his English isn't so good.
Darian Crescent is a native speaker.
Oh. Oh, right. Sorry, I kind of forgot who was what.
Press the switch. That's not something a killer usually says to their victim, is it? Was there no one else in the room? I do not know. All I heard was Mr. Latouche and the detective. Oh. Can I present the... Just save just in case. Yes, okay. Press the switch. There's only one key that can unlock the mystery of those words. Oh. Yet there was nothing at the scene that could be called a switch. Save the lights. There's a joke here. True, there wasn't a switch at the scene. There continues to be a joke here. But it just so happens. I have a switch right here. Woo! That certainly does look like a switch, doesn't it? The problem is, this was found not at the scene of the crime, but on the stage. Stage? Where the concert was held, yes. Eho. This was found hidden there. On the stage. Are you claiming that the voice Lamahor heard was of someone commanding another to press the switch? It's a possibility.
Objection!
Oh, her forehead? I'd call that an impossibility. Why? It's hardly necessary for me to remind the court of the layout of the concert forum. The stage is quite far from Lamar's dressing room. Not to mention that the Gaviners were in the middle of a concert on said stage. We aren't known for being a quiet band. You could shout all you want and not be heard. The detective's voice was loud, but certainly not a shout. So too have Fair Forehead's cries of possibility fallen far short of being heard. Sorry, but he wouldn't have needed to shout. Excuse me? You heard what I said, or do you need me to shout it out for you? It would have been quite simple to be heard on that stage from the dressing room. Oh, wait, you like evidence, don't you? How about this? Using this, it would be easy to get a message to someone on stage from the dressing room. Hee hee. Jesus Christ, Apollo. Aim for the throat. Prosecutor Gavin, perhaps you're familiar with this? Why, that's... What? What is it? Is that some kind of newfangled phone they invented while I wasn't looking? This is a type of transmitter, a communications device. Communications? Device? From what I've heard that night, everyone on stage was wearing one of these. Isn't that right, Prosecutor Gavin? Yes, actually, they're for talking between band members. We all had one on. So you admit that if you were wearing one of these, talking from the backstage to the stage would be simple.
Objection!
Simple, even. True, but wait. Those send out an electronic signal. To avoid interference with the audio systems, their range is quite limited.
Lamar said it was about 30 feet, right?
Look at this cross-section diagram of the concert forum. Exactly. A shrimps is that? Too late. Immortalized. Exactly. The walk from the stage to the backstage seems far. But the direct distance is less than 30 feet. Can't be. So when... Well, I don't know why I said that in my normal voice. So when Lamar heard the shooter's voice, I've been talking to someone on stage.
Objection!
You're claiming that this switch... No, you're claiming that this is the switch in question. Why did it have to be on the stage at the time? It could be placed in a pocket and carried anywhere. Someone could have hid it on the stage after the fact.
Hey, he's got a point. How do we know where it was when she heard the voice? When the shooter said press the switch.
Well, I guess we don't. An unfortunate situation. I'm afraid that until we know where the switch was, there's little point in debating it. I'm not sure that this was the way to go with this. What is this switch, anyway? We don't even know know that basic fact. Actually, I fucking do. Wait a second. I do know what this switch is. And if you follow that train of logic to its incredible conclusion, it ends up in proof that completely changes this case.
What's up, Apollo? Apollo?
We know about the switch, right? We know what it is.
Yeah?
Well, think of when it was used that day. Think of what happened. Well, Mr. Justice, you have no further information to share concerning this switch. Your Honor. Yes, Mr. Justice? I've been remiss in not telling the court this before. I know what the switch is. Well, it seems the defense is set upon linking this switch to the case. Let's see your evidence of the link. What evidence do you have to explain what the switch is? Where is the igniter?
Take that!
Prosecutor Gavin, you remember this? That's what? Is it another one of those newfangled phones? This is an igniter. What phone looks like this? Igniter? You mean it's like a lighter? Yes, actually. You're saying this switch is a... Wait, you aren't saying this switch is a remote. I am. This is a remote trigger for an igniter. What? Look, I'll show you. Mr. Justice, you will cease and desist from burning down this courtroom. Sorry, that was a bit more fire than I'd expected. Emma's in the background like, what did I fucking say? If my whiskers had caught on fire. That's it. Prosecutor Gavin, let me repeat myself. This switch is a remote igniter trigger. Doesn't that suggest something to you? You're talking about what happened to me, aren't you? Exactly. That night at the concert, there was one unusual burst of flame. When your guitar caught on fire in the middle of your performance. Wasn't that part of the stage show, though? Prosecutor Gavin was entirely unaware such a thing had been planned. And the guitar that burned was a valuable keepsake. Orange clavier jump scare.
That's right. He got it in Virginia from La Moire. He said the sound was amazing. Before it burned, of course. Now it just kind of smokes.
The better the guitar, the brighter it burns. Your forehead. Yes? Don't tell me you're trying to tie these two things together. Those being the shooter's voice heard by La Moire. And the guitar suddenly catching on fire. I am. It's really shrimple when you think about it. Mr. Latouche and the shooter were at the crime scene. The shooter was wearing a headset. He ordered someone on stage to press the switch. The switch was pressed and the guitar caught fire. Well, it does seem to make sense. Something about it is bugging me. Can't quite put my finger on it. Really? Seems pretty simple to me.
Objection!
Simple, even. Your forehead. Don't destroy what little respect I have for you. I was expecting something a little more sensible. I guess I was wrong. What's this all about, Prosecutor Gavin? The simple story simply makes no sense. Think, that night my guitar caught fire, yes. The cause may have been this, indeed. However, have you considered that I'm EP, Your Honor? The guitar caught fire during the second set.
That's right, of course. The guitar caught fire during La Moire's song.
Indeed. Yet the shooting happened during the third set. The two are utterly unrelated. Yes, that must have been what was bugging me. The whole premise for this is faulty. See, the story makes no sense.
Objection!
You sure about that? What exactly do you mean, Mr. Justice? Maybe it's not the premise for my explanation of the switch that's at fault. Maybe it's our premise for the entire case so far. What premise is this specifically? I'm glad you asked. I'm saying that maybe the killing didn't take place during the third act. Pursuit time.
Objection!
What's this? But Detective Emma Skye heard shots and found the body. All of this happened in the third act.
Objection!
Turn up the volume. Turn up the volume and get completely jump scared by Apollo's objections. Gunshots rang out, and according to his testimony, Monty was in that dressing room at the time. Where are you going with this, Mr. Justice? Stay with me, Your Honor. Stay with me. Will you look out? Anyway. He also told us this in his testimony. Namely, that the victim had already been shot. We all heard gunshots, but no one saw the shooting. This is insane. Just before the shooting took place, the shooter was heard on his headset, telling someone to press the switch. The next moment, Prosecutor Gavin's I almost said guitar burst into flames. Guitar bursts into flames. We know that a remote-triggered igniter was inside the guitar. From all these facts, we can draw only one conclusion. The crime did not take place during the third act, but during the ballad performance, the second act. What? Ooh, angry. Order, order, order! But that goes against evidence. What does, Your Honor? This crime was carried out according to the lyrics of that song, yes?
Hey, he's right. Look! The bullet is supposed to come after the fire.
You're thinking about it the wrong way.
Huh?
Look. Why would the shooter craft the events of the day to follow the lyrics anyway? It's an awful lot of trouble to go through. With little merit for the person doing it. Well, I'm sure whoever it was had some reason. Yes, they did. A reason that made it advantageous to follow the lyrics. I'm saying the order was reversed on purpose. Hmm? Reverse, Prosecutor Gavin. If the criminal followed the lyrics strictly, then yes. The shooting would have had to come after the guitar burst into flame. Yet, Herr Forehead has raised another possibility. He's claiming that the bullet came not after, but just before the fire. Couldn't have put it better myself. We were only meant to think that the shooting came after the guitar burst into flame. That was the criminal's objective. The crime followed the lyrics to a point, but that was the ruse. Why else would the killer risk discovery by moving the body? That was the final touch to make us think he'd followed the lyrics the whole way. Order, order, order! How to explain this most unusual situation? It does. The killer changed the order of events to create himself an alibi. In other words, the killer was someone who had an alibi for the third set, but not the second.
Objection!
I was hoping it wouldn't come to this, but sadly it has. Let me tell you why your little fairy tale makes no sense at all. Hmm? Oh, it sounds good, I'll give you that. You've given us a reason why the killer bothered following the lyrics of my song. But I question your logic. For it's flawed from the very beginning. Flawed? Yes, a contradiction, Herr Forehead. One I've pointed out several times, no less. At the time of the crime, the small window at the scene was closed. How could L'Amour have heard a voice through it? Oh. I know that you would like to divert our attention from that critical fact. But you're basing your entire line of reasoning on a false premise. Right. L'Amour's testimony is my entire case. That voice she heard, the shooter's voice.
What if she couldn't hear it, Apollo?
Look, what do we have? A man saying press the switch. Is that what he said? Look, yeah. And near the crime scene, we have a switch, which acts as a remote trigger for an igniter. And last but not least, Prosecutor Gavin's flaming guitar. Can't all be a coincidence. How do I make it work? I see a more direct line of questioning is required. When the crime scene was investigated, immediately after the crime, that window was closed. Care to tell us how L'Amour heard the voice? Key point, to be sure. Mr. Justice, can you explain this to the court? Okay, Justice. You got one thing to prove and one thing only. L'Amour heard a voice. And she heard it during the second set. How is L'Amour able to hear the voice? She has divine hearing! Wait, I want to see what it says if you... I want to see what the wrong dialogue is for that. Hold on. Actually, we can just take the penalty. The window was closed, as you say, yet L'Amour could still hear the voice. Because she has the power of divine hearing. That's the only explanation. The witness is a siren, Mr. Justice, not a saint. I said hearing, Your Honor, not healing. Well, that fell on deaf ears. I'm not sure I know what this divine healing... son of a bitch. I'm not sure I know what this divine hearing ability is. Then perhaps we should hear it straight from the all-powerful voice himself. Care to explain how clairaudience has anything to do with the case? I've never heard that word in my life. Can we just move on now? Only if you can enlighten this court. Time to rethink this. Oh, it didn't have a penalty. Funny. Wait, well now I want to see what the other one says. Does this one say anything? Does it give me a penalty? Obviously the window was open. Had to be for her to hear the voice.
Objection!
News bulletin, Hair Forehead. That horse is dead. Stop beating it, for all of our sakes. That window was closed. This is a hard fact reported by the investigation team. Yeah, even Lamar being like, no. But... Oh? You have evidence to the contrary, perhaps? Well, no, but... Then do be quiet. I tire of this charade. Time to rethink this. Okay. She was somewhere else. When we investigated the scene, the window was closed. The shooter had no reason to close it, had it been open either. Meaning, it was impossible to hear the voice through that window. Ah, it's good to hear you making sense again. For a moment, I was afraid you might be a Borginian too. What are you saying? Clavier, what is going on with you? As I was saying, Lamawar could not hear the voice through that window. So there can be only one explanation. She heard the voice from another location entirely. What's this? You do amuse me, so. And here I would. Nope, and here I thought you and Good Sense were back on speaking terms. Now I'm afraid you and Good Sense speak two entirely different languages. Shall I interpret for you, Hair Forehead? Lamawar clearly stated she heard the voice through that small window. And there's only one small window at the scene. Are you sure? Think about it. Isn't there another small window at the scene?
There is?
Ah, I know that look. He wants us to ask him. Very well. You claim Lamawar heard the voice from another location. He wants the gameplay to move forward. Mr. Justice, show us where this location was. Lamawar heard the voice from here. From the vent to the... Can it... Hello. The vent. No, that's the wrong button. God. Jesus Christ. Judge is sick of this. This is where Lamawar heard that voice from. But that's no small window. It's the air vent. I don't know how we're vents just like a monkey. What did she tell us? Oh, Whooper's in my chat. She said she's Borginian, unfamiliar with our language. It's not a stretch to imagine she called this air vent a small window.
Objection!
This is a good bit. Now you've done it. You've gone beyond ridiculous and into ludicrous. So Lamawar was up in the ventilation system listening to this man's voice. Yeah, you don't do that sometimes? That's the only logical explanation, yes. Logical. I do not think this word means what you think it means, Hair Forehead. Ah, Princess Bride. Okay, what about it isn't logical? Hardly merits saying. Why the fuck was she in the air vent? Hiding like a rat. No offense intended to her, of course. The explanation for that is simple, Prosecutor Gavin. Isn't it, Lamawar? You have been listening to our discussion here, yes? Yes. I admit it's had me quite confused since yesterday. Yes, the small window was closed. But why should that mean I could not hear through it? I feared our prosecutor might himself need an interpreter. The problem here is words. Lamawar, this small window through which you heard the voice. Was it up high on the ceiling of the room, not low on a wall? Yes, it was up on the ceiling. What? I love when the language barriers get to be a quirky little thing that actually adds to the hello. Okay. I will have order when it's a thing that adds to the narrative. I think it's neat. Witness, you will clarify this statement to the court. Are you in fact saying that you were up above the ceiling of the room? And that's where you heard the moment of the crime? Yes, in fact, I was. I am sorry. I never imagined it would become such an important point. Yes, well, why the heck were you up there? Heck, Sayer Apollo. I believe it's time for another testimony. I'm not sure I can't. May I remind you that this is a murder trial. We will hear your testimony. Tell us why you witnessed the crime from above the ceiling of that room. Please. Well, looks like I'm on the right track. Yes, I was above the ceiling when I heard the voice. I had heard there was a small window there before. Do you think he would also say HE double hockey sticks? Yeah, I think he would. I think he would say HE double hockey sticks, but he would also say fuck. Like, that's the range. It was in the middle of my performance. I had no— woo, that's thunder. I had no time to report what I had heard. I think the Write Anything Agency swear jar is 80% Apollo's fault. As to why I was there, I cannot say. I am bound to secrecy on this matter. Bound to secrecy? In my line of work, one has many obligations to uphold. You say you were in the middle of your performance. So this did happen during the second set. I did not witness the crime, you must understand. But I only know what I heard. Yes, but you must tell us what you were doing in detail. That's what the cross-examination is for, yeah, Hair Forehead? Our mission in this court is to discern the truth. No obligation, no binding pact may hinder that mission. Very well. Mr. Justice, you may begin the cross-examination.
What are you gonna do, Apollo?
I'm gonna find out the truth. She was up above that ceiling for a reason. I just have to get it out of her. Above the ceiling. Could you be more specific? I cannot. Because you're bound to secrecy? Yes. To tell the truth, I was not supposed to even say I was above the ceiling. I dare not say more. Doesn't sound like I'll be able to coax it out of her just by asking. I am gonna take a moment to go get more water. I should have done that before I started this cross-examination, but oops. Anyway, be right back, getting water. I leave you guys alone and you start writing things in my chat. Vandalism that I totally permitted and encourage even. How dare you? Hey, did you guys know it's Jono Giovanna's birthday? Happy birthday, Jojo. It's also... Oh my god, did my live announcement just like not fucking go up on Twitter? Jesus Christ. Okay, give me a second. I love the way Twitter works. And is functional. It's Jojo's birthday. It's also, I don't know if it's the 13th or the 14th. But, as soon as I type that I am still live on Twitter, because my initial Twitter post didn't come out. There's like a 50-50 shot. Buon compleanno, Jojo! Tanti auguri a te. You and I occasionally remember some Italian, and only for comedy. Yeah, there's a 50-50 shot that my I'm live announcement on Twitter actually works. Like the past few weeks, it's straight up just like not gone up. So I'm putting it up now to fix that. There we go, now it's up. It's also... I don't know if it's like today the 13th or if it's... Why did I say the 13th? Today's the 16th. I don't know if it's the 16th or the 17th, because it's the 17th in Japan right now. Jesus Christ. It's the 17th right now in Japan, right? Yeah, so I don't know if it's the 16th or the 17th for Giorno. But also, happy birthday Takaya Kuroda, voice of Kazuma Kiryu, and also, I discovered today, the Russian sushi guy from Durarara. Funny. Birthday. Yeah, he's Simon! I wouldn't have known because we watched the dub, but like, now I want to watch it subbed. I still haven't finished it either, so maybe I watch the rest of it subbed, but I really like the dub because it's the era that Crispin Freeman is still popping up everywhere. Therefore it brings back my, Haruhi Suzumiya nostalgia. Oh my god, he's that Hypnosis Meg right? He's a rapper in Hypnosis Mike, and I can totally hear it. Because he's one of like 2 Hypnosis Mike rappers that I know. Yeah, that makes sense. So one of my mutuals cosplays that one. Anyway, what the fuck was I gonna say? Announcements. Do I have any announcements for this week? I don't think I do. Standard usual ones of if you want to buy these games, you can... Hello? You can get them on my Nexus store. Everybody in chat either already has played these games or knows I have a Nexus store off the top of my head. But people watch my VODs sometimes on YouTube. Ooh, I should add a VODs command. You can watch VODs of all of my Apollo Justice streams on my YouTube channel, as well as occasional clips when I'm really feeling it, Mr. Krabs. I am a one-woman operation. So it happens when I feel like it. You can join if you haven't already. You can also join the Discord server if you're joining from my VODs. I don't think I have any other shit coming up. As usual, on Thursday, we will be streaming The Great Ace Attorney on Max's channel. That's with Max and Cinna. And then on Sundays, streaming on Kate's channel for The Great Ace Attorney. I think it's our finale this week, or if not this week... Thanks, Maddie. If not this week, then next week we will be finishing the first Great Ace Attorney game before moving on to the second one, where I am streaming on Kate's channel with Ren and MJ and obviously Kate. Do I have anything else coming up? I don't think I do. Anyway, continuing on with the cross-examination from the weird place that I left it off on. I'm still so sleepy. I heard there was a small window there before. By small window, you mean the air vent? I only remembered I needed to be careful where I put my hands and feet. I cannot see the light coming through the window, of course. The air vent grate could trip you up, certainly. So I was walking very carefully when I heard the gunshots. Startled, I crouched and listened. That is when I heard his voice come from the room. Darian's voice. I knew something terrible had happened, yet. So without a word, you just let the third set start? After the curtain closed for the second set, there was still much to do. You could have prevented this whole misunderstanding if you'd only told us sooner. Yes, perhaps I could have. I see little point in badgering the witness. What's done is done. The mind works differently when one is in the middle of a performance. Yeah, there's a specific kind of brain rot happening when you're on a stage. Why, I've lost my voice in the middle of a show and kept on singing, completely unaware. I know someone who, in the middle of like a 17-minute set, broke her ankle and kept fucking going. Singing without a voice? Only all contradictions are so obvious. It's also like totally reasonable for somebody to, like not reasonable, but I understand not realizing you lost your own voice. If only I could get Lamoir to talk. Pressuring her like this doesn't seem to be getting me anywhere. Oh, go back. You heard the gunshots during the second set, your performance. You're quite sure? Yes. Why would I lie about the time? Why didn't you tell us this yesterday? No one asked me. I thought you all knew. I told you Machi was not the killer. I told you this many times. Yes, you did. But you never told us why. I'm sorry. I was not able to speak of it. Unable or unwilling?
She's not talking, Apollo. What do we do?
We'll just have to prove it ourselves. As long as she's bound by this pact of silence, she won't talk. But if I can prove why she was up there, she'll have to admit it.
Then how are you going to do that? She was singing on the stage, Apollo. She couldn't have been up above the ceiling, too.
Yes, she could. I've got a theory as to why, too. Maybe I got the evidence to prove it. I think it's on this one I have to present the video. This one or the one before. Exactly who bound you to secrecy? I'm not sure I'm allowed to say who it was. No, I think perhaps that is alright. It is just a name, after all. It was Valent Grammary. Perhaps you know him? Valent Grammary? What?
You mean Uncle Valent?
What? Valent Grammary? Who's Valent Grammary? The Grand Magician. The one responsible for the illusion performed during our concert. That man! Interesting reaction, prosecutor. Interesting reaction, prosecutor Gavin. Why did that sound like I was missing a syllable? Lamoir was bound to secrecy. It's going to take some hard-hitting proof to make her talk. I think I know why she was up there, but how do I prove it? Yes, I was about to say- oh, that's the beginning again. Is it this one? I think it's this one. I can take a penalty, it's fine. Damn it, that's not where the video is. There we go.
Objection!
Yay, the music stopped. Lamoir. Truth be told, the reason for your presence above the ceiling is quite clear. Especially when you consider what happened during your performance. What happened? Yes, it's all right here on this video. We're gonna watch it again. Oh god. Orange clavier. Could you imagine if they had like reanimated this with the Great Ace Attorney like graphics? They never would. Obviously, because they didn't for this. But like, wow. Oh, we have to keep watching all the- okay. The disappointed crowd noise really makes it. We're just beating the shit out of the flames. It's so funny. Not now, Creative Cloud. As we can see, Lamawar was clearly not on stage for her entire performance. Oh. Though it saddens me to be so realistic. Lamawar is incapable of actually vanishing, let alone teleportation. So the only explanation is that she was hidden from view. Hey, everyone ever should watch the Ace Attorney Investigation stage play Turnabout Teleportation. Oh, do the Windows noises come through? I didn't know that. Anyway, everybody should watch the Ace Attorney Investigations stage play Turnabout Teleportation. You don't need to know anything about Ace Attorney Investigations or be worried about spoilers. You should just watch it because it's a really good show. All of the Ace Attorney stage plays are very good, but Turnabout Teleportation, it's great. So the only explanation is that she was hidden from view. It also has a teleportation case in it, if you could not tell. And during that time, she moved to the back of the forum.
Apollo,
What, Trucy?
it's not nice to reveal a magician's secrets. And it's against the rules.
But I'm a lawyer, I'm not supposed to be nice. It's all very fascinating. But how is it possible? There's only 20 seconds between when she disappears and reappears. She couldn't have moved that fast. Is something wrong, Prosecutor Gavin? This was his concert, his show. He knows how the illusion was performed. Ah. He's just realizing his own oversight. Let's look at the cross-section diagram again. Here, we can trace a route through the ceiling. Goes from the stage... hiccup. Goes from the stage, through the backstage, to the rear of the forum. Recall Lamamar's testimony from yesterday. There is something like a little window there. That's how I saw it. She went from the stage to the back of the... No, from the... Jesus Christ, to the backstage exit. Perfect description of the route above the ceiling. Lamawar knew of this because of her part in the illusion. But she wasn't the only one who knew. What? Just now in the lobby, Machi told me something. This makes it totally valid evidence, guys.
I know. I know if I open in vent, I can leave stage and backstage.
Is that? Oh, were you not informed, Prosecutor Galvin? I knew about the Vanishing Act, of course. Yet I had no idea the route that would be used. Why didn't that magician tell me?
Magicians only reveal their details of the acts on a need-to-know basis. They're the bread and butter of a magician's life, you know.
Which is why he bound Lamawar to secrecy. Well, Lamawar? I'm impressed, Mr. Attorney. Machi was right about you. So, what does this mean? Are you saying you used this route above the ceiling? I did. Well, that's that, but I'm still a little confused. Why is that, Your Honor? As I said before, it's only 20 seconds, right? Is that the bit? This with the danger music kind of hits. I don't know. There's very little time between when she disappeared and when she reappeared. 20 seconds, tops. How could she do it so fast? Especially if she stopped to hear the shooter's voice. That's a good question. Can the witness explain this to the court? I cannot. Very well. Mr. Justice? Yes? It's all up to you. Do your thing. What thing, Your Honor? You need to explain how Lamawar was able to teleport like she did. Or I'm throwing your case out with the bathwater. I don't want to get picked on. Lamawar, who isn't going along with the program here. Are those Windows things coming through again? It's really funny if they are. Hold on. It's Sage texting me, is what it is. Which is really funny. I wonder why that's coming through. I don't think I have like a desktop audio. Yeah, that's so weird. I have it as like a game audio. Like it should just be taking the audio from the window. It's interesting. Anyway, as I have stated before. Because it's a funny Easter egg for now. I am not at liberty to speak of the illusion that night in detail. And you'll just have to tell us what you can. Can you guys hear the rain? Oh, it occurs to me that it might be... No, it might... Figure it out later. It's fine. If not, it'll continue to be a funny little noise that I have. Well, hear your testimony on this. Mr. Justice, it will be your job to wring the truth out of her. Yes, if you would, please. Right. I feel like a student before finals.
Good luck, Apollo.
It keeps like, the rain is like on and off. I followed the route exactly as I was instructed. There is an emergency exit in the backstage, where a stagehand waited. From there, one can enter the forum on the opposite side from the stage. The plan was for me to move there in 2 minutes. I was on my way when I heard the voice. 2 minutes, you say? Mystery deepens. I suppose it was too much to hope that the judge would just come up with something. As does my curiosity. Take it away, Mr. Justice. Right, Your Honor. All I have to do is find the contradiction between what Lamawar is saying and what we can see plainly in the video.
I figured it out already. I am a magician after all.
Well, tell me.
Not a chance. I can't reveal another magician's secrets. Come on.
Hey, you're supposed to be on my side here. But you're so funny. The big illusion.
Hold it!
2 minutes? Yes. Can be done in 1 minute if you are running. Running? In that cramped dark tunnel above the ceiling? Mr. Attorney, have you forgotten? Dark or lit, it makes no difference to me. That's true, but... So you're saying that on the night of the concert, you made the trip in 2 minutes? Yes, though I nearly didn't make it in time. You see, I stopped halfway. Lamawar disappears on the video for 20 seconds. But she says she made the trip in 2 minutes. How?
If you want my professional opinion, I'll bet the answer's right there in that video.
Well, Mr. Justice, perhaps you have some evidence for us. Something that can explain the discrepancy between the video and her testimony. Evidence explaining the discrepancy? Do we present the video? I'm gonna present the video and see what happens. Because I know what it is, but I don't know how to present it. Here's one piece of evidence that explains the discrepancy between the video and the testimony.
Take that!
Aha, so this is it? The magical key to unlocking this illusion's dark secret? Tell us how it works! Quickly. I can't bear the suspense. I was kind of hoping someone else would jump in at this point. Well, you see...
Objection!
Our judge, I do hate to spoil the mood. But I haven't the faintest idea what he's talking about. And neither does he.
I'm a little confused too there, Apollo.
Right, by which I conclude that I was wrong.
Better luck next time, Pollywog.
Pollywog! Wait, that's so cute! Shut up, I've never gotten this dialogue before. It's so cute. Pollywog! I need her to call him that forever. Mr. Justice, I'm holding you responsible for spoiling my mood. That was so worth it. We got Pollywog. Do I have to watch the video to figure it out? Hold on. No, that's not what I'm looking for. Do I just watch it? Oh my god, I can fast forward. Oh shit. I can't fast forward, I can just skip ahead. We're gonna watch the whole thing. I'm gonna be thinking about Pollywog forever. I don't remember like what the thing is supposed to be. Oh shit. Go back. It's weird seeing it so smooth, but still so terrible. Is it the brooch? It's the brooch, isn't it? She's wearing it here and she's not wearing it later. Because she dropped it. Right? Yeah, she's not wearing it. Oh my god. I forgot. I remember her saying she dropped it. I see. Okay. We gotta do it. Yippee! Look at that. I remember things / am a detective. Ooh. Come on, go faster. Shout out to Trucy for being so smart that she figured it out earlier.
Take that!
Lamoir, do you happen to remember this brooch? Aha, the brooch. We saw that yesterday, did we not? It was found at the scene, Your Honor. And you're bringing this up now, why? I thought we had already determined that when that was dropped. So did I, but we hadn't. Take another look at the video. Yeah. Oh my god, you can see it, like... That's the igniter, isn't it? Here you can see she's wearing the brooch. So she is. Let's look a bit later. Come on. Oh, what? The brooch. It's gone. What? Yes. The brooch disappeared in the short space of 20 seconds. And it takes a full minute to run from the stage to backstage. Which means there can only be one explanation. The Lamoir we see before the Vanishing Act and the Lamoir we see after are two different people. What? I feel like you could just as easily say that she dropped it in the middle of it, but I suppose not. I suppose that's too complicated. Not just on the floor, but on the floor directly beneath the air vent. There we go. Lamoir, tell me. Did you drop the brooch on your way from the stage to backstage? At the very moment you witnessed the crime? Yes, I think I did. Order. Prosecutor Gavin! From your expression, I gather you had no idea this was the case, Judge. I, of course, knew about it. Oh, what? Don't get me wrong. I wasn't hiding it. It just never occurred to me. But the switch and the shooting took place at the same time. So, was I right? There was a switch? There was. Just before the stage's tower rose, Lamoir was replaced. While we're on the subject, just who was this replacement Lamoir? Why, the man behind the illusion. Valent Gramarye. Valent in drag! Hatman in drag! It was Gramarye! That's quite the illusion. I still don't get one thing. Yes. Hatman in drag. The switch happened before the tower rose, correct? So you weren't on the stage. That's right. But this, fake Lamoir is still singing. And she's pretty good. It's true.
Come on, Apollo. That's an easy one. They were just playing a recording.
The Gaviners aren't some kind of air guitar band, Fraulein.
Oh? You mean I'm wrong?
When we play a show live, we play live. No recordings. Perhaps you can explain, Lamoir? Very well. Yes, do tell. And add it to your testimony. I had to keep singing, even while I moved.
Hold it!
You were singing? Yes. Mr. Gavin expressed a dislike for recordings. So I used this. Wait, so you were singing the whole time? Even when you were crawling above the ceiling toward the backstage? Why should it matter where I sing whenever I... Nope. Why should it matter where I sing when everywhere I go is the same darkness? But if you were singing while you were walking...
That's right. Wouldn't the shooter and the victim have heard? She was singing right over their heads after all.
That is right. Are you sure? You'd have to be pretty hard of hearing to miss someone singing in the ceiling. Once again, we come back to the state of the scene of the crime. What state?
I know what he means. That old speaker, Apollo.
Speaker. That speaker was blaring at the time of the murder. Ah, that's for monitoring the stage from this room.
Monitoring?
It pipes in a real-time feed from the stage microphones. Useful for knowing when your set is coming up. Satisfied. That dressing room is fitted with a large speaker playing a direct feed from the stage. At my request, actually. So Lamoir singing in the ceiling sounded just like Lamoir singing over the speaker. Genius! Her voice was hidden by her voice. Actually, there would totally be a delay and the feedback would be terrible, but like... Lamoir? I have just remembered something. Do tell. When I heard the noise, the gunshots, yes? It startled me, so I... So you... I stopped singing. What? I forgot the words I was supposed to sing. The song stopped? Thankfully, it was the very beginning of the second verse. So not many would notice. Forehead, the mixing board I lent you. Where is it? The mixing... Huh? We physically took the whole thing with us.
That machine, Apollo. The one that breaks music into tracks.
Oh, this! I completely forgotten about it. Let's take a listen. Oh boy. It's like we can't move things, can we now? Take this moment to drink more water. There it is. The thing about this is the lyrics are so, the way they are that you cannot tell that she messes up the lyrics. The song does stop there. It does? I must have missed it. Look at the lyric sheet at the top of the second verse. See where it says pleasure, pleasure, normal words. Now listen again. She only sings it once. Good lord. This is evidence indeed. I believe we are guilty of making a terrible mistake. The crime didn't happen during this third set. They really make you listen to this 37 times, yeah. It happened during the second, during Lamoir's ballad. If that is true, then no one on stage during the second set could have been the shooter. Which means that Darian Crescend could have done it. He wasn't on stage for the second set. Well, Prosecutor Gavin. Fascinating. I don't believe I've ever seen a trial turned around quite so thoroughly. Yet one problem remains. What's that, Prosecutor Gavin? Therefore, his theory does have a certain kind of logic to it. Yet it is entirely based upon Lamoir's testimony. Yes, is there a problem with this? Well, it's quite simple, though it pains me to say it. What if she is lying to protect the defendant?
Objection!
But you have no proof! All I'm saying is that the truth is as yet unclear. Until we hear directly from the man himself. The man... You don't mean... Yes. Though he is a friend and a band member. Is that what we're calling it? Darian Crescend must take the stand. I see no other way. As someone with a new perspective on the case? As a suspect, to be frank. Finally, the rat's coming out of his hole. Hello? And I'm ready to catch him. Darian Crescend, get ready for justice. This is as good a time as any to pause for a brief recess. The prosecution will summon the witness. Have him here and ready by the time we begin. I'm the last man who needs to be reminded of what his duties are. Very well. Court is adjourned for a 15-minute recess. To be continued. Teehee! That means we've got one more... I thought the music stopped. We got one more part of Turnabout Serenade to go, which means next Monday, because we're going to be back to Mondays, I will be finishing this case as Clavier. Oh god, it's gonna be... I really hope it's not hot in my room that day. Clavier is wearing so many layers. But yeah, I'm going to be here in my Clavier cosplay for that. Yippee! As usual, there is, there are announcements. The Nexus, if you want to buy this game, and or Ghost Trick, and or The Great Ace Attorney, buy them off of my Nexus store. It'd be pretty fucking neat. It'd be neat. If you would like to join my community Discord, and you haven't already, my Discord server is available. We're very, very close to the funny number in terms of membership, and you get a funny little banner. But yeah, Clavier Julie next week. Every time I cosplay him, I try to go a little bit more visual K. I should really brush out that wig. That wig has seen better days. But yeah, I will be in my Clavier cosplay next week, finishing Turnabout Serenade, unless I'm totally wrong, in which case it would be really embarrassing if next week was not the last case and I just showed up in Clavier cosplay. That'd suck. But yeah, Thursday on Max's channel, along with Miss Cinna, we will be streaming The Great Ace Attorney 2, Memoirs of the Clouded Kokoro. And on Sunday on Kate's channel, we will be streaming The Great Ace Attorney 1, Adventure of the Unspeakable Story. And then we'll be back to this on Monday. Yay, yay, yippee. I'll see y'all in my Clavier cosplay next week.
Thank y'all for stopping by. Have a good night. Yippee!